and welcome to the Houston Fieldhouse for today's hockey game between the Garnet Chargers of Houston College and your Engineers of RPI. At this time, let's meet the starters for tonight's game. First for the visiting Garnet Chargers. At left wing, the associate captain, senior from Laverne, Minnesota, number 8, Chaz Smithrow. At center, the junior from Mississauga, Ontario, number 15, Josh Nixon. At right wing, the sophomore from Rocky Point, New York, number 24, Nate Hayward. On defense, the sophomore from Wausau, Wisconsin, number 21, John Kroger. On defense, the sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 3, Cal Bell. And in goal, the sophomore from Goffstown, New Hampshire, number 36, Kyle Chabet. The Garnet Chargers head coach is Josh Hall. He's assisted by John Roden and Melanie Childs. And now, the starters for your RPI Engineers! Leading your engineers today is junior engineer, Barrett Coleman! At left wing, the senior from BT Finley, number 15, Alti Negative. At center, the senior from Stittsville, Ontario, number 17, John Beacon! At right wing, the senior from Fort Claire, Quebec, number 27, Dick Gagnon! On defense, the junior from St. Minnesota, number 23, Dick Strada! The sophomore from Woodfield Hills, Michigan, number 7, Max Stolinski. And in goal, the sophomore from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 1, Carson Chirapac. And let's hear it for the rest of your engineers. RPI's head coach is Dave Smith. He's assisted by Chuck Weber, Matthias Lane, and Carly Cerny. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor and respect our country and the men and women who have served and continue to serve America, we have set you rise to remove your hats for playing the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America by the RPI Band.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of RPI. It's time once more for Engineers Hockey here on RPI TV. This afternoon, the season begins for Dave Smith and the RPI Engineers men's hockey team. They begin with a weekend of exhibition matchups, the first of which, no better way to start the season than a game against the Garnet Chargers of Union College. Alongside former RPI men's hockey head coach Dan Fridgen, Dan Ball with you here on RPI TV. Thanks so much for joining us here this afternoon. The Engineers welcome in 8 newcomers onto the roster here this afternoon, or for the season, I should say, after losing 7 between graduations, transfers, and otherwise. They begin the brand new season with a pair of games taking on Union this afternoon. They'll welcome in Guelph from U Sports up in Canada tomorrow afternoon. We're just about ready to go here for the opening face-off. The visiting Garnet Chargers of Union College will start Chaz Smezrud with Josh Nixon and Nate Hanley up front, John Prokop and Cal Mell on defense, and Kyle Chauvette, the sophomore netminder, in the cage to our left. The homestanding Engineers begin a veteran line of John Beaton centering Alti Nikkanen and Jake Gagnon, with Nick Strom and Max Smolinski on defense, and the sophomore netminder Carson Cherepak getting the start in the cage to our right, as the Engineers will skate from right to left across your screen here in the opening period. Faceoff was controlled by the Garnet Chargers, but Max Smolinski was able to wrestle that one free. Knocked off the tape of Gagnon, but he was below the goal or the center line, so that one will go for icing. Working on a couple of small technical issues up here in the booth. We'll welcome in Dan Fridgen in just a few moments as the faceoff will come back in front of Carson Cherepak, who in his freshman campaign in 6 games, a record of 0-4, a 3.11 goals against average, .896 save percentage, and just over 250 minutes of work. Face-off to his right as John Beaton will lean in. Won cleanly by Jacob Jeanette, making his career debut. Centering pass in front got blocked. Back to the point. That one blocked again. Another chance as Ben Tupker was coming in trying to get a shot away. Strom pulls it free. On second attempt, Smolinski will take the space in front of him. Pass to the middle for Beaton. Whipped on net by Gagnon. Missed on the near side. RPI will begin their first line change. The Engineers a season ago, a record of 14-20-1. That led them to a tie for 7th in ECAC hockey play. Due to points and head-to-head records, they ended up with that number 7 seed in the ECAC hockey tournament. They took on the Yale Bulldogs right here at the Houston Fieldhouse, ended up falling to the Bulldogs in that first round matchup as battle below the goal. Centering pass was looking for a wrap try in on Chauvette. Knocked away, taken out to center by Tupker. He'll force it over the center line and head for a change. Here is Jack Agnew feeling the pressure from the oncoming Ethan Benz. Benz able to force the turnover. MacArthur sends it back to the point. Near point Potter, deflected, save by Cherepak. He scoops it back below the goal, controlling his own rebound. Knocked to the neutral zone for Evans. The newcomer Dovar Tinling will fling it in on Chauvette and go for a line change. We're just under 2 minutes into the season opening exhibition here in Troy with no score. Thanks so much for joining us here for a pair of games on RPI TV. If you're joining us on the YouTube stream, we thank you for doing so. Austin Heidemann leaves for Sutter Mazzotti, who tried to send it back to Surdy on the point. Deflected around Surdy, now a partial 2-on-1. Centering pass in front, but the momentum took Brandon Buer just past the rebound off the inside post as it ricocheted from that near corner right in front. Close chance for the Garnet Chargers as Heidemann will start the breakout. Now here comes Mazzotti below the center line, but the icing is waved off as RPI goes for a line change. A good couple of chances there, and a big hit laid just over the center line. CJ Regula laid the boom on that one. Ardenaz tries to force it up the near wall. Ardenaz battling with Nathan Sullivan, one of the other newcomers on the roster. Jeremy Payant will fling it in deep. Finn Brown goes end over end against John Prokop for possession. Knocked around Payant. Now here comes Nate Hanley. Hanley gains center. The play is offside. A player in front of the goal as Hanley had sprung past the defense, but the pass got blocked. Finn Brown will send it along the end boards and all the way out to center as we're just under 3.5 minutes into the opening period. Sent all the way in deep. Tupker A-frames feeling the pressure from Regula. Nikkinen knocks it along for Gagnon, and Gagnon will send it up and above Chauvette's net. Given the exhibition status of this game, every player who is healthy and available in the lineup, so a couple of very stacked benches here at the Houston Fieldhouse, as we'll see that today and then tomorrow. Cullen Ferguson will wheel in his own end. Gated through center by Jeanette, taking the hit from Smolinski on his way through. Evans back and helping on the back check. Nick Strom will send a pass off of the glove of Ferguson, jumping in for a chance, and a save made by Chauvette. The rebound, he's got it as well. Crashing through the middle, Tyler Hodson with a step around the defense. But a nice save made by Chauvette. Let's run a mic check. Dan Fridgen, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
We are good to go. As a matter of fact, I was looking at that last one where Union had the opportunity. It looked like that one in. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but it was a while ago.
It was a very close chance, and it started from what seemed like a fairly innocuous play after the initial pass didn't connect with Bure. Anyways, after the save, Agnew, I should say, threw a screen. That one got blocked in front. Brad McNeil fighting in the near corner. McNeil pulls it free, but a good play. Cal Mell on the defensive end, and the two go end over end right in front of the apron of the goal. To a side, they will scrap, pulled free by Prokop. Knocked past him, now a 3-on-2. Centering feed in front, and the shot goes just over the top of the cage. The Garnet Chargers getting a chance in transition. Meanwhile, in transition here is Mazzotti, has it knocked away from him right at the blue line. Pass is stolen by Agnew, and right over the RPI logo at center, he'll send a puck in deep. With just about 5 minutes gone by here in the opening period of our opening exhibition game. Robertson tries to make a move through the legs of Lucas Mata. Mata, a nice play to deflect that one. The sophomore out of Kleinburg, Ontario, and a transfer on this roster out of Western Michigan. Of the 8 players welcomed into the program by head coach Dave Smith, 4 of them are freshmen, 2 graduate transfers, and 2, you could call them underclassmen transfers. After the Engineers lost 7 players off of their roster, 1 graduate player, 2 seniors, and then 3 underclassmen not returning for the Engineers this year. We'll go through some of the newcomers as we move through this one. Here is one of them. It's Payant. He has it poke checked away, and the defensive play by DJ Hart. Stolen by Payant on the back check as turning was Nikkinen trying to get a shot away. Backhanded toward the point, but Ardenaz will have to sprint back into the neutral zone and regroup things for the home team. Gagnon absorbs the hit. This one's deflected in deep, and Beaton will be beat out for possession by Hanley, who is back on the back check. Knocked back to the neutral zone again, so Ardenaz will regroup. Dan Fridgen, 2 exhibitions this weekend for the Engineers. From a coaching perspective, as we have a whistle and an offsides, what are some of the things you're looking for if you're the Engineers, given that these games won't count toward the final total, but you'd still like to see some things, I'm sure?
Yeah, you'd like to see some things. First of all, you're going to be working on the chemistry as far as the lines are concerned, not just with the forwards, but also with the D pairings. Goaltenders are going to get an opportunity and how they perform. And then from a systematic perspective, you're looking to see whether the guys have grasped what you're trying to do from a forecheck, D-zone coverage, face-off plays, neutral zone transition, those types of things.
Many of the important pillars being established by the Engineers in the early going, so a lot of value to these games. As we've talked about on past broadcasts, there are only so many different things that you can gain from practicing and scrimmaging and things against your own group, trying it against another group. Definitely valuable in that regard, as a battle in the near corner. Taken down was Messina as he was trying to protect the puck. Joseph Messina, the freshman out of Woodbridge, Ontario. Knocked through the neutral zone, but Corpy was hit as he was trying to catch the pass. It rolls all the way down on Carson Cherpak. Heidemann will send back for Nick Strom. Up the near side wall, taken away by Joey Potter. Sent from a bad angle, over the top of the net. Mazzotti will knock it. He tried to knock it back to the neutral zone, right in front of the Engineers bench, was unsuccessful, so they'll try the breakout the other way, but it's taken away. Smolinski turns it over. Backdoor feed and a save made by Cherpak as MacArthur was crashing toward that near post. Set in front of the goal again. A wobbling puck to the top of the circle is knocked free by Hodson. Now it is McNeil. McNeil blockered away by Chauvette. Getting that shot free in transition. Heidemann forces the turnover. The puck will roll in on Chauvette. He'll glove it down and hang on. 12-12 to go opening period here in Troy. Still no score as RPI taking on Union to open up the season.
Oh, it was a real good save by Cherpak. It looks like he caught it at the bottom of his skate right there. Nice feed across. Yeah, he did. He caught it right on the bottom part of the pad. Able to keep that out of the net.
The Engineers last season, in terms of goals against per game, ended up with a 3.36 number, I should say, in that category in total. That was the highest number, 3.36 goals against per game, since Dave Smith's first season, as this one will go down and be icing. They ended with a 3.91 mark in that first year back in 2017-18. So for a team that has not been over that 3 goal per game margin since that point, definitely an area that will be focused on in the early going. And that's team defense. That's not just goaltending, but an area to watch for sure as Cherpak will get the start. Jack Watson and Brett Miller also returning as the other 2 netminders on the roster. So an interesting possible competition, or at least rotation possibly coming in the early going. Sullivan will slow things down in his own end as we've got 11:40 to go here in the first. Agnew tried to send it all the way deep and get a couple of forecheckers in on the puck. On second attempt, a backhand pass from Nikkanen was off the skate of Gagnon, but here comes Payant trying to cut his way in front. Knocked away as he was approaching that far side post. Gloved down at the line by Lucas Matta, and Matta will send it cross corner.
Could have been interference on that play.
You could hear a couple of distressed voices here in the Houston Fieldhouse that had that exact same thought, but no call. We play on. Centering pass in front blocked. Up to the top of the circles, but kept in by Laurie Surdy. Here is Gagnon shooting. Missing on the near side post. Matta sends for Beaton across the middle. A rolling puck was nearly stolen by Nixon, who had a bit of open space in front of him. The puck jumps over the stick of John Beaton. Laurie Surdy in there on the forecheck. Near side wall, here comes Nate Hanley. Hanley over the line, drags and shoots. Missed the blocker side wide, kept in at the line. That shot goes wide as well. Hanley on third attempt, and that one's blocked down by Matta at the end of the shift. He'll scoop it back out to center. And after a rolling puck is knocked down by Carter Corpy, Matta and the rest of the Engineers go for a change. Meanwhile, here come the Garnet Chargers through center. That shot gets blocked. Rebound, kick save made. A reflex save made there by Cherpak, and a beauty. He's made a couple of nice saves in the early going to keep this one even.
Yeah, he kicked that leg out real quick after it was a broken play. Went right back to the Union player who got another shot away. Great save.
Knocked in deep, Regula reverses, and Dovar Tindling flips it over the defensive line and into the neutral zone, but it's sent right back where it came from, and Cherpak will scoop this one up. With 9:43 to go here in the first period, no score between the Engineers of RPI and the Garnet Chargers of Union College. We'll take a break and be back with more after this. You're watching Engineers Hockey on RPI TV.
Fans and alumni to the game. Thank you for your support and enjoy the game.
Hi, I'm Andy James at Rensselaer Honda, and this is my buddy Bo. Looking to sell your car or truck? We want to buy it. Are you looking for a great used car? We have a huge selection. That's why Rensselaer Honda has been your Honda dealer for 44 years.
For the love of the game, the team, or for two, Recovery Sports Grill. At Recovery Sports Grill, you'll always have courtside seats to exciting live sports coverage. And for outstanding loyalty perks, join our Hall of Fame, Recovery Sports Grill, serving up smiles every season.
It's the most historic conference in college hockey. It's a battle night in and night out. ECAC Hockey, an iconic conference home to 12 of the most prestigious universities and programs in the world, and showcasing the best student athletes in the sport. Top-notch facilities and arenas, incomparable traditions, passionate fans, alumni who go on to become elite professionals, leaders, and champions. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Back on RPI TV, no score. We're midway through the first period here at the Houston Fieldhouse, as Nick Ardenaz has it taken away. Nice play by Eli Pilasov, making his career debut. Battle in the near corner, sent back to the line. Ferguson looking for a lane, now feeling the pressure, and it's taken away. Pass through the middle, on and off the tape of Ardenaz, but it's scooped up by Hodson. Hodson a drag, and he shoots it off the post. Really nice skill play there by Tyler Hodson, who opened up a bit of room right between the defender's legs and nearly cashed in for his first as an Engineer. Well, two things. He used the defense as a screen, and he's got a heck of a snapshot. He just toe dragged that and snapped it off all in one motion. He'll give it another go. Here's Mazzotti in, and a save made by Chauvette. Sutter Mazzotti bidding for his first and the Engineers' first. Couple of good chances stolen. Mazzotti will give it another go. Mazzotti in with McNeil. McNeil in front for Mazzotti, but the saucer pass would not go. Couple of good chances now as RPI's offense gaining a bit of steam here in the early going as it's sent in deep by Heidemann. Knocked around the forechecking Nathan Sullivan. Quick passing from Potter, and it's sent in deep as now Union will go for a change. Will be interesting to watch the development of Tyler Hodson, a freshman out of Stratford, Ontario. Spent last season with the Sioux City Musketeers. Had 15 points in 17 games with Muskegon before being sent to Sioux City, where he had 45 points in 44 games. Ended up fourth in points despite having essentially 20 games played less than the three players in front of him on that point total. So an exciting player on the offensive end. We'll have a whistle with 7:37 to go here in period one.
Stratford, Ontario, home of the Culletons. Stratford Culletons. A storied junior program. There's right off the post. Chauvette took a stab at that with his glove and missed it by that much.
Essentially everything in that scenario missed by that much, as Chauvette nearly had it and Hodson nearly had it, but a good chance nonetheless. We're still scoreless. Ferguson sends it through the middle, got deflected on its way through, so no icing. Quickly up from Nikkanen. Beaton tries to force it along, but he's met by Tucker on the near board. Centering pass, nobody home. Nikkanen will spring John Beaton with speed. Tried the inside-out move to get around DJ Hart, but unsuccessful. We'll have a stoppage and a whistle and a penalty, our first of the game. With 7:08 to go here in period number one, it came from that exchange as Beaton was applying the pressure. DJ Hart will head to the box. We'll see the first power play on either side. It's the Engineers who will get the chance.
Yep, Hart held up Beaton just a little bit too long, prevented him from getting to the puck, and he'll sit for 2 minutes or less.
Engineers last season on the power play, 26 of 118, finished at 20.3%. Heidemann near side, walks to the top of the circles and shoots through a screen. That one missed high and wide. He was trying to drag as many defenders with him before getting that shot away. Heidemann back up for Max Smolinski. Smolinski for Mazzotti, fakes it at the top of the circles. He gets it back. Mazzotti will shoot. He missed the net. Going for that near side post. Didn't miss by much. Knocked to the near side corner on the backhand. It's sent back out to center where Smolinski will knock that one down. Slick passing from Sutter Mazzotti, who celebrated with his program and his family this offseason, being selected in the 5th round of this year's NHL entry draft by the Nashville Predators, 143rd overall. Very exciting for the Mazzottis and the entire Engineers family to get that kind of recognition. Had a fantastic campaign as that one's whipped on goal. The shot from Finn Brown, gloved down by Chauvette. Sutter Mazzotti, as a freshman last year, Dan Frigian, led the team in assists, finished in a tie for the lead in points with 22, and you got to imagine there's even more room for growth for that player who's going into his sophomore year.
Yeah, he's had a couple of good scoring chances here so far in the first period, but he seems to be going short side, stick side on the goaltender Chauvette. Came up with a nice glove save there on that last transition off the boards.
Ferguson's clear was blocked by Laurie Surdy, just over 50 seconds remaining now in the power play. Gagnon sends up the near side boards for Evans. Evans again will walk in slowly, goes for Gagnon, who wheels it in front. Save made, rebound, another kick stopped by Chauvette. Taken away and sent to the line for Regula. Hodson will send low for Gagnon as Regula was calling for it. Evans this way for CJ Regula, now back for Evans at the top of the circles. Looking for a saucer pass, it got blocked, but it's kept in on the backhand by Regula. Quick power move finds Hodson. Now it's Hodson on the backhand, backdoor feed. That was Surdy on the first pass as Evans tried to force another one in front of the goal that got blocked. 4 seconds and 3 remaining on the penalty kill. A couple of good chances for the Engineers on the offensive end, but the Garnet Chargers survive. And we're back to 5-on-5 with 5 minutes to go here in the first.
Well, good penalty kill there by Union. RPI just couldn't find a handle. They had a couple of good opportunities around that net, but just couldn't finish it.
Ardenaz will get things going. As it knocked off of his stick, will regroup. Paired with Lucas Matta right after the power play. Matta will gain the center line and send it in deep and start his own forecheck. Laying the hit on John Prokop allows McNeil to take it free. A quick move and a breakout, and Eli Pilasov. A pass through the middle gets knocked away. And the other way comes John Beaton, 1-on-2. Beaton battling with Prokop. He has it taken away. Now here comes Brandon Buer. The play goes off sides on the pass from Brandon Buer, the sophomore out of North Vancouver, British Columbia, a transfer from Clarkson. Last season, played in 9 games for the Golden Knights, did not register a point. Now spending year number 2 of his career here in the Capital Region.
Well, he's got to get that puck across the blue line before he tries to make a play with it. He decided to make that play right at the blue line, and his line partner went offside.
Deflected along by Brown. That one will roll past Kyle Chauvette's cage. Chauvette, the sophomore out of Goffstown, New Hampshire, played in roughly 20% of his team's minutes last year in net. Arguably the biggest, well, probably not arguably, the biggest loss for Union, netminder Connor Murphy, who the Engineers saw 3 times last season. Nice move at the line by Davies, springs Payan in. Payan with Finn Brown, misses the first pass, second and 10, score! Finn Brown on the backhand, on the feed from Payan, and the Engineers strike first, it's 1-0.
Well, that all started when DJ Hart, the defenseman for Union, jumped down, got caught, gave up the 2-on-1, and kind of a broken play. Whiffed on the first pass across and then got it on the backhand and put RPI up on the board, 1-0.
Brown, the sophomore out of Toronto, Ontario. Played in 10 games last season as a freshman, did not register a point. He is on the board for RPIs. Again, exhibition numbers do not count towards final totals for the season for either squad, but in terms of players gaining momentum and getting a feel for scoring, certainly important. So Brown, a player to watch. 6'3", 195, so a lot to like about Finn Brown heading into his second year in college hockey as it's knocked into the corner. Heidemann in on the forecheck, but Thomas Richter able to knock that one free. Richter on second attempt, providing pressure in the neutral zone. He'll shoot, deflected off of the stick of Smolinski, up and out of play with just under 3 to go here in the first period.
I was kind of chuckling. Linesman Gosselin's having a tough game so far. He went down off that face-off, and it's the second time he's gone down. I think he's hurting a little bit, but he'll be all right.
And number 20, Nathan Sullivan. RPI goal 51.
So Brown from Payant and Sullivan, 2 first-year players getting the assists on Brown's goal. That breaks our deadlock. Penalty coming up, it's going to be against the Garnet Chargers, as they were in on the forecheck looking to generate a chance, but instead it looks like they will victimize for the second time today. And with 2:45 to go in the first period, the slow skate of the guilty party, it will be Carter Corpy who goes to the box. It will be a rough, then the Engineers will go to the power play for the second time. And like you said, Dan Fridgen, some things to like from the man advantage the last time.
Yeah, they moved the puck around pretty well. Like I said, right around the net, they just couldn't find the handle in order to execute.
Union penalty at 17-15 in the first period.
Somebody's got to settle on the phone.
That was very impressive as it swept past Smolinski back out to the neutral zone. I think it was the word go, but it kind of ended up sounding like the word goal when you hear a soccer announcer really kind of get into it. And anyways, the Engineers faithful, a good crowd on hand here at the Houston Fieldhouse watching their team take on Union here in the season opener, and showing the passion in the lungs already. Heidemann will pull that one free. Was trying to reverse it back for Smolinski. Good pressure coming from Ben Tupker. Smolinski drops on the slingshot for Heidemann, but it's knocked away from him. And Smolinski will have to head back and gain possession. A high stick will be called, and a slam of the twig by Austin Heidemann after the pass went awry. So a face-off in front of Carson Sherpak's net with just under 2 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, good forecheck pressure there by the Union forward Tupker, who came in a year ago, transferring from Cornell University.
Battle at the face-off dot as Evans pulls it free. MacArthur was in there. Colby MacArthur making life a bit more difficult for the Engineers. Pass from Gagnon, again right at the same spot that Heidemann had a bit of trouble. That pass got deflected away. Regula will slow things down for Evans. Top of the circle, Surdy, the saucer pass. Regula shoots, that one got blocked and will be sent back out to center. Nice play by John Prokop to get in front of that one.
Yeah, Regula's got to move that puck laterally across the blue line in order to open up that shooting lane, get the forward out of it.
CJ Regula, one of the transfers on this roster out of Ohio State, as Evans has it at the top of the circles. He is held up, but the Engineers maintain possession. Surdy had a pass that went into his skate, so he couldn't get the one-timer away. Kept in at the line, but taken away. With a step is Mel going one-on-one, a drag around Hudson, but on the back check, Tyler Hudson there, after he fell to his backside, was able to sweep that one away.
Great defensive play. Looked like Hudson was out of it, but he kept his stick alive.
McNeil has it stolen through center. Buer feeling the pressure and takes the hit from Nick Ardenaz to knock the puck free. Beaton fights with DJ Hart as the power play comes to an end, so RPI 0 for 2 on their man advantage here in the first period. 2-on-2 the other way with 20 seconds to go. Pass was left for Villegas, but that one's stolen free. Sent laterally through the neutral zone and just in over the line. Robertson and Villegas battling there in the corner. Ardenaz pulls it free, and that will do it for the first period of play of the 2023-24 campaign. It's exhibition style this weekend here at the Houston Fieldhouse, but RPI leaves period number 1 of their season with a 1-0 lead on a goal from Finn Brown on a 2-on-1. A broken play that the Engineers were able to capitalize on. Dan Frigid, some good, some bad, as both teams getting into their systems and getting a feel for things here in the first game of the season.
Exactly, but it's good to see them capitalize. You should pretty much 80% of the time capitalize on a 2-on-1, and they were able to execute that. And again, that was one of the Union forwards jumping up in the neutral zone, giving up that 2-on-1, going 0 for 2. Didn't get the puck, didn't get the man, and it cost them.
Out of the 35 games last season, RPI had a lead after the first period of play just 8 times. So a good thing indeed here in the season opener. Well, we'll take a break after 1 period of play. We've reached our first intermission. Again, 1-0 RPI over Union. So grab a snack, grab a drink, stay with us. We'll be back in a few. You're watching Engineers Hockey here on RPI TV.
All proud supporters of RPI Hockey. Pep Band. Gatherers Grill is St. Baked in a small kitchen, batched in Schenectady, New York. It's founded by an RPI alumnus based on his mom's recipe. Gatherers Grill for people with taste buds.
The team, welcome to Recovery Sportswear. At Recovery Sportswear, you'll always have courtside seats to exciting live sports coverage. And from outstanding loyalty perks, go to our Hall of Fame for Recovery Sportswear. Serving up smiles every season.
RPI Hockey presented the following sponsors. Pepsi, Services Ginsburg and Griffin Law Firm, Prince of Diamond Services, Crown Plaza at Desmond Hotel, The Recovery Sports Grill, E. Stewart Jones Hacker Griffin Law Firm, Stewart Shops, BSM Sports, Gatherers Grill, Rensselaer Honda, Sierra Farm, Repeat Business Systems, Ryan's Wake, Stanley Steamer, Correct Energy, McAddy's Pub, Handshake, Brown's Brewing Company, and the Bone and Joint Center, all proud supporters of RPI Hockey.
Second period about to begin from the Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of RPI. We're back here on RPI TV. It's Engineers Hockey. After 20 minutes of play here in the season opening exhibition game, it's the home team leading the Garnet Chargers of Union College by a score of 1-0. It was Finn Brown scoring on the backhand on a 2-on-1 at the 16:29 mark of the first period, opening the scoring. Carson Cherpak and Kyle Chauvette battling in the crease in their respective creases in the first period, and it's 1-0 RPI as we get ready for our second period play. Alongside Dan Fridgen, Dan Ball with you here this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. And it was, as we mentioned at the end of the first period, Dan Fridgen, a very competitive one on both sides, and again, the ultimate goal for any exhibition game. You're working out the kinks, you're working on the game plan, and the Engineers seem to be doing that so far.
Yeah, both teams were moving their feet. They moved the puck pretty well, you know. Goaltenders made a few key saves and only one goal to speak of, so a pretty tightly played first period.
So Kyle Chauvette will remain in the cage for the Garnet Chargers, but the Engineers have made a change of their own as Brett Miller will take over for the middle period as the puck is down and we're underway. RPI will go from left to right across your screen here in the second. Knocked in deep as Nick Young was trying to clear that one, but it was turned over and a one-timer there went wide. Gagnon, far point, sends it through a screen. That one got blocked on its way through. Gagnon, Nikkinen, and Beaton, the line that started the first period, starting the second as it's Gagnon. Battling in the corner, knocked free by Nikkinen. A pass from John Beaton to the middle, nobody home. It's taken the other way on a 2-on-2 and sent in deep. Tyler Watkins, the one that made the clear. He'll go for a change. Up the near side wall, and it went off of the stick. No, it did not, as it appeared as though McNeil had tipped it on its way through. He did not get a piece. That will be icing and head back in front of the cage of Brett Miller, who last year in 4 games played 149 total minutes, a record of 1-1, a 3.62 goals against average, 8.47 save percentage. Beaton and Benz on the draw. It was won by Benz as Nick Strom will knock it free. Sent to the line, but kept in by Josh Phillips. Benz cross point for Ferguson. Looking for a deflection in front. He gets one. Save made by Miller, and it's knocked back out to the neutral zone. Quick play there by Cullen Ferguson to get a deflection in front. A nice play and a good reactionary save by Miller. We saw Carson Cherpak in that first period make a couple of nice saves, kicking out the pad on deflections and chances right in front of him, and Miller in the early going making one as well as Mazzotti tried to pull it free. Knocked off of his stick, so gaining the center line and sending it in deep is Colby MacArthur. Laurie Surtee with a bit of room has that pass deflected. Couple passes and it's off the skate of Messina, who will go in on the forecheck. The freshman defender Messina pulled free and cleared back out to center off the near side boards by Surtee. Physical play by Tyler Hodson gets the puck the rest of the way in. Messina pass to the middle, connects. Stepping out of the way was Brandon Buer as CJ Regula was closing in on him quickly.
Real quick. He was wise to let that puck go.
One of those passes, your head's looking the other way, on comes the defender, and we've all seen how those can go from time to time, so he was able to avoid it. Regula is going to be an interesting player to watch. He had 2 points in 35 games last season. This one will go for icing. His brother Alec was drafted back in the 3rd round of the 2018 draft by the Red Wings, was later traded to the Blackhawks. So the bloodlines of the Regula family, very solid on the defensive end, 2 right-handed defenders. So curious to see how the fit fits for the Engineers as CJ Regula joins the blue line. Lucas Matta, the other of the transfers, joining the defensive group. The responsibility there replacing Mason Klee, Kyle Hallbauer, as icing is waved off. but a lot of familiar faces otherwise on the blue line. The forward group a bit different for the Engineers, as you lost one of 3 players who led the team in points in Ryan Massey to the transfer portal to UConn. Also the team's leading goal scorer from a season ago. You also lost TJ Walsh, another of the top names that played considerable minutes for Dave Smith's group. So changes abound on both sides. As the breakout successful, it's knocked in deep. Payant will go in on the forecheck and take the puck away. Sent off the apron of the goal, it will bounce its way into the near corner. Dylan Davies will activate from the point. Davies part of the forecheck. He ended up leading the team in plus-minus last season with a +2. The breakout gets only as far as the blue line before Strom intercepts and sends it back in deep. Young wheels it along the far side boards. Taken through center by Kodzi. That one will stop for an offsides as the transfer out of Bentley, Cole Kodzi, gave it his best, but the play is whistled dead with 16:06 to go here in the second.
Good job in a breakout there by Union. They had a RPI guy tracking him down, and another RPI guy went in early thinking it was going to be a reverse, but the Union player faked the reverse and ended up getting a good pass to his forward partner, getting the puck out of the zone.
The clear-in goes past Miller, allowing MacArthur to take it away, but he's knocked to the ice. Flipped up and into and then off of the glove of Colin Ferguson, so that one will go out of play. They'll settle the details on the face-off. The changes to the Garnet Chargers roster also significant, as we're having a mid-period goaltending change. Joe Sherab will take over. Sherab, the junior out of Natick, Massachusetts. Did not play in a game last year for the Garnet Chargers. He played in one game as a first-year player. Played in 5 minutes and 10 seconds worth of a game against the Quinnipiac Bobcats. That was back on December 4th, 2021. So getting a bit of spin, as you have to imagine with Connor Murphy departing, a bit of a goaltending competition, or at least discussion happening for the road team in this one here as well.
I thought Kyle Chevette played pretty well there in the first 25 minutes.
Likely, just given the timeshare, the odds-on favorite to get the opening night nod and probably play considerable minutes, just given that he was the most oft-used backup. But you're absolutely right, did play very well, other than the broken play that we discussed on the 2-on-1, where Finn Brown got the backhand that just snuck inside the near post. It was hard to tell on the rebound. Colin Ferguson's stick was also right there, so could have possibly taken a deflection on its way in as well, but no matter what happened, it counted, and RPI is up 1-0. This one will roll its way down. No icing, however, as Hodson will go headlong against Messina. Well-placed lob wedge on the clear. The puck will wobble its way back out to center. Regula gets it moving on the pass from Ardenaz. Up to Hodson on the near side, on and off the skate of John Evans, so it deflects in deep. Evans going against Josh Phillips, hauls him down, a penalty coming. And a collision in the far corner right as the whistle was blowing, as Evans was in there still forechecking at the time of the whistle. So a stoppage with 14:17 to go here in the second period, as we'll take another look.
Yeah, Evans is going to go for a hold. And we'll see the power play for Union College for the first time today.
Union last season on their man advantage, 22 of 121, 18.2%. Finished with a 16% success rate in conference. 10th best out of the 12 in that regard. That was the one number I had missed, was RPI's power play was 4th in the conference last year, clicking at just over 21%. Sent to the line, but kept in. Union will get it going as it's sent in front, deflected, score! Quick work as Tyler Watkins sent a pass in front of the goal and was looking for a deflection. He got it. And Brandon Bjor, the Clarkson transfer, is on the board, and the Garnet Chargers have tied the game at 1.
Well, that was just a real good passing play that started on the far boards. As you can see, that was threaded through there by the forward who was playing defense at the time, Tyler Watkins. Nice dish and a tip in front. I think that went 5-hole on the goaltender, Brett Miller, for RPI.
For the goal scorer, Bjor, the sophomore out of North Vancouver, British Columbia, no points in 9 games as a member of the Golden Knights last year, as we had mentioned. He left Clarkson, went to Alberni Valley in the BCHL, had 18 points in 21 games. He is responsible for tying this one as Tyler Watkins grabbed the assist. Meanwhile, McNeil shoots in a save made by Sherab. No rebound available as Heidemann went crashing through the crease. 13:31 to go here in the second period in a game that is now tied at 1.
Yeah, Heidemann was right there, waiting for that rebound to come back out. Good thing he didn't jab or poke at the goaltender. I think that's what the referee's talking to him about right here now, right by the RPI bench.
A tie-up off the draw there by Payant. Was trying to get either Sullivan or Brown in there to knock it away. Union completes their breakout. Now taken the other way with speed, but going for the move was Ville Imanen. He lost control of the puck.
Yeah, one move too many there with the stick handle.
There is such a thing sometimes as too much speed, and you could argue that Imanen had that one there. He had a big jump as he was trying to get around the defense there.
Yeah, with the speed that he had going, he'd be better off pushing the puck ahead of him and then skating into it as opposed to stick handling, because you just increase your percentages of losing it.
That is exactly what happened as Payant will skate it in. Looking for Nikkanen as Nikkanen was trailing the play. Sent all the way around. Gagnon backhands it in front. Payant and a save made by Sherab. Scooped up by Gagnon. Quickly across for Smolinski, who catches on the backhand. He'll shoot through a screen and get a deflection right at the top of the slot area. That one missed the net high. Good pressure as one of the freshmen on this roster, Jeremy Payant, had the primary assist on Finn Brown's goal, and you've seen a lot of him every time he's on the ice, as this one will go for icing against Union. The faceoff will come back into the Engineers' offensive zone with 12:17 to go.
Well, with the puck behind the net, the RPI player made a nice pass to Payant, and he got a shot away. He had a Union player, defensive player, draped all over him, was able to get that shot off. Just tells me he's real strong on his stick. Jeremy
Payant spent the last 2 years with Nanaimo in the BCHL at 43 points in 52 games last year. Finished 6th on the team in points. His 23 goals were 3rd. And I tell you what, Dan Fridgen, you know, the couple of first-year players that we've talked about between Hodson and Payant, obviously there's a discrepancy between what you do in junior hockey and what you do at the collegiate level, but the pedigree of some of these offensive players, you can't deny it. Some very good junior numbers.
Yeah, no question, especially out in Nanaimo, BC, home of...
Oh boy, is this on my test from last year?
He was a former assistant here.
Oh.
Nolan Graham.
Well, I will study up for that one next time as a pass in the middle got deflected away by Regula. A shot from the near point from Phillips is knocked away by Miller. Gagnon will flip it out to the neutral zone. That's one thing I've learned as I've grown up in the hockey world. It's such a small circle. There is somebody from every town, city, and province in Canada that somebody from the hockey world will know, as the other way comes Hodson, protecting on his backhand, feeling the pressure from a couple of defenders, and absorbs a hit in that near corner, knocked it free. Kindling in there on the forecheck, as was Dylan Davies, who will switch places with Evans, the other forward on the line.
One of my former head coaches when I was an assistant.
Evans, Agnew off the bar!
Whoa.
Up and out of play as Jack Agnew so rudely interrupting that story from Dan Fridgen, but a good chance in the process.
No question. Off the crossbar, nice snapshot. But it was the late Charlie Morrison be on a recruiting trip. And every town we'd go through, he could name at least 2 or 3 guys that was from that town, from a hockey perspective. It was amazing.
Man. Well, you get some of those hot spots, of course, that you'll go. And we talk about a lot of the similar junior teams, whether it's BCHL, AJHL, USHL, what have you. But that's impressive, where you can go anywhere, and it's, oh, I remember him. I had coffee with him once.
Yeah.
That is pretty darn impressive. You put together quite the resume that way, as Mazzotti tried to force it along for McNeil. Agnew with the center line will send it in deep. Jack Agnew last season on the blue line, 2 goals and 12 points in 32 games. Did finish as the Engineers' leading blocker of shots, as this one will go down and be icing. He had 47 from a year ago, a player that was named the most improved player during the 2021-22 campaign, returning for his senior season out of Oakville, Ontario.
Home of the Oakville Blades. Junior.
I might have been able to give you that one.
Yes.
Surdy will head into the far corner and start the breakout for his group. Nikkinen tried to kick it along for Beaton, but it's stolen and brought in 2-on-2 as Miller will make the glove save. On the backhand chance as Villegas got free, but a nice save with the glove.
Well, Villegas, I don't think, realized how much time and space he had, so he took a little time and decided to go to the backhand, but Miller was sharp with the glove hand.
10:10 to go, second period. Score tied at 1. Brandon Bure scoring on the power play on a deflection on a nice shot pass from Tyler Watkins to tie the score. Pass from MacArthur got knocked down. Knocked back to the neutral zone. Young pokes it free. Nick Young on the defensive end for the Garnet Chargers, the leader in plus-minus for this group last year at a +3 total. Finished with 9 points in 34 games. Young, also a prolific blocker of the puck, finished 4th in ECAC hockey in terms of total block shots as it's brought in. A pass towards Gagnon got blocked. Another chance in and out of the glove of Sheriff, and it's in the goal! A wobbling puck finally found its way over the goal line. Jake Gagnon will lead the celebration line. Sutter Mazzotti there as well. It appears as though the Engineers have taken the lead.
Well, that all started on the forecheck. Came across, little flip shot, and then it looks like, oh, he thought he had it. Yeah, Jake Gagnon's gonna get that. Maybe not. I don't know. Tough to tell if it went off Jake or if it went off of one of the Union players, which would mean the original shooter was Nikkinen.
Well, we'll wait for the scoring update. It's going to count no matter what. So at the 10:30 mark, a quick whistle from the officials. Thought I might have jinxed that one. So the clearer, Nick Young was trying to clear that one off the line. It was Gagnon and Ethan Benz who were tied up, crashing towards the net. It went off of one. It was hard to tell from that near side angle who it will be. We'll wait for an update. But either way, RPI responds after ceding the power play goal to the Garnet Chargers. They're up for the second time today by a score of 2-1.
Well, actually, it was Nikkinen that started that play along the far boards.
Knocked to the line and past the stick of the outstretched Josh Phillips.
In the second period by number 15, Alti Nikkinen.
All right, so it will belong to Nikkinen.
27, Jake Gagnon. And number 23, Strong.
So Gagnon and Strom get the assists. The goal belongs to Alti Nikkinen. That one will go for icing against RPI, so the faceoff will come back in front of Brett Miller's cage. Hey, Dan Frigen, either way, puck's on net, good things can happen.
Yeah, and you know what? You got to give Nikkinen credit. He started, like I said, that play along the boards. He got hit, but he didn't. He got that puck to the middle of the ice and didn't sit there and observe. He got back on his feet and skated right to the net, which he got a shot off.
It will be fascinating as a pass from Tupker didn't connect with anybody. It will roll all the way back in deep. Be fascinating to see what a fully healthy season, hopefully, for Alti Nikkanen can seed. He scored in the season opening game last year against Mercyhurst as Tupker will center a pass in front. Couldn't connect as it was right there for Jacob Jeanette in front of the goal, but he was tied up on his way through. Mazzotti will force it into the corner. Nikkanen scored against Mercyhurst, got hurt on the celebration after colliding with an official, and then missed a month, including the series against Union at the end of October. Finished with 4 points in 20 games, so curious to see what his season could look like. Meanwhile, here is Agnew. Jack Agnew will activate and lead for Mazzotti, quickly across. Davies steps in, pass, was looking for a deflection. Now another chance in front of the goal, still loose there in the slot area. It's taken out of harm's way. Jeanette will reverse it back below the goal. Good pressure coming from both defenders who are on the ice. Agnew started it and Davis created it, as this one will go for icing against RPI.
Well, let's give a shout out to Perry Lascaris. He's watching back out in Minnesota. I don't think it's below zero out there yet, but and RPI fans will remember that name. He's now working for the CCHA and has 5 games on the docket today.
Busy day indeed. Hello to Perry out there. The name you recognize, the voice you'd probably recognize as well. Was very honored to take over for him at the beginning of last season, as Evans' shot will get deflected, go up and out of play, will hit our period break. 7:20 to go, second period here in Troy. A power play goal from Union College and Brandon Buer tied it, but Alti Nikkanen scored on a bouncing puck that rolled over the line to give RPI a 2-1 lead as we hit our break. Back with more after this. You're watching Engineers Hockey on RPI TV.
I missed it. I'll say 2. I didn't even see it. It's usually between the second and third for the women.
It's the most historic conference in college hockey. It's a battle night in and night out. ECAC Hockey, an iconic conference home to 12 of the most prestigious universities and programs in the world, and showcasing the best student athletes in the sport. Top-notch facilities and arenas, incomparable traditions, passionate fans, alumni who go on to become elite professionals, leaders, and champions. ECAC Hockey, there's no experience like it.
Back here on RPI TV, 2-1 RPI over Union. The fine gentleman that we were just discussing, Perry Lascaris, gave us a response back on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, to which I learned Dan Fridgen does not have a Twitter/X account that we can bother you with.
No.
Surdy has it knocked away. Now Matta will go in a race for the puck with MacArthur, winning that one by a considerable margin. Is there anything we can do to change your mind?
No, kind of reminds me of a line out of Caddyshack. That's all I need.
Fair enough, fair enough. I should say I noticed it earlier today because the fine RPI athletics department and athletic comms department was promoting the fact that we were on RPI TV, and I was lucky enough to be tagged on my X account, and then I saw that your name was said, but there was no account that was tagged. So I learned that information a couple hours before, and I was disappointed, but what are you going to do as it's knocked through the middle? Brendan Booty onto the ice and getting a spin here as Booty will send it back to the point. Smolinski walks the line, looking for a backdoor feed as Nikkonen was opening up for a possible one-timer. Meanwhile, Smolinski will send a wobbling puck that surprised a couple of fans down near the end zone here at the Houston Fieldhouse. It goes out of play with 5:56 to go here in the second.
You would have seen at ZZZZ as in snoring. That account is dormant.
So I guess TikTok is out of the question for you then.
Yeah, so is Instagram.
I'll figure. I'll
That's
dig.
all
I'll
I need
dig
is
as
something
deep.
else to get hijacked.
There you go. I'll dig as far as I can on this one. McNeil protecting the puck. He has it knocked away. Sent down to the ice. There was Kadzi as he was battling for it in the near corner. To the line, Young corrals and shoots. Save made. Rebound loose for Kadzi. A backhand by Nixon. Save made. Pulled out of harm's way by Sullivan. Sprayed off the end glass and all the way down. A good flurry of chances for the Garnet Chargers and a couple of nice saves by Miller.
Yeah, Miller was down in his butterfly, and good thing he's a good-sized goaltender. He's able to take that in the shoulder.
Miller at a 6'2", 185 total. You take another look as he was down in the butterfly, but then was able to go up and make that save. Brett Miller's first game of last season came in Game 2 of the weekend set that these two teams played back in October. Ended up being a 6-0 victory for the, well, at the time Dutchmen, now the Garnet Chargers, after RPI had won the first game of the season series, the blackout game here at Houston Fieldhouse, by a total of 2-1 the night before. Sent to the line, a one-timer, and a save made as just Mata was able to get that shot free. Not a one-timer necessarily, just a shot on goal, and a good one, but a save. Sent all the way back in deep as both defenders, Mata and Ardenaz, and they will both battle as well. So new jerseys unveiled here at the Houston Fieldhouse for the Engineers here this season. As you can see, the red trim around the shoulders all the way down to the glove areas. So I will admit that I'm learning the lettering and the naming for the first time. As Mata will backhand it up and over the glass, so the face-off will come back in the Engineers' defensive end with now 4:07 to go in the second.
And because that was shot out by an RPI defender, RPI can't change.
They'll keep the same group out there as second-year head coach Josh Hauge will make his changes. His record matching the Garnet Chargers 14-19-2, the seventh head coach in the program's Division I era. Spent his previous 7 years with Clarkson, 3 as an associate head coach before getting the nod at the beginning of last season. Evans on the near side will flip it around Ferguson and in deep. The roster for the Garnet Chargers down from 32 players to 28. 12 players from last year's roster did not return for this year, 6 of which were underclassmen, 6 of which were seniors. So changes abound as 8 new players in, 6 freshmen and 2 transfers in for Union this season. Here is Tinling looking for a pass towards Tyler Hodson. That one got blocked as RPI was looking to get a chance in transition.
I'm sure Tingling will be shooting that puck next time. He should have pulled the trigger. He had a beautiful opportunity there in prime real estate area.
Knocked in deep on the backhand there by Smolinski. Sent off the near side boards into the line. Wilsurti will play it on the backhand. Smolinski avoids the pressure from the oncoming Eli Pilasov. Battle right over the center line. It's pulled free. Pilasov jumps in, but he has it poke checked away. A shot from the top of the circle as deflects and goes wide. Popped high up in the air. This one will wobble its way through center. Seeing another new player as Ryan Brichette getting his first shift. He'll head for a change, well, right now. A graduate transfer out of UMass Lowell 10 points in 24 games last season. More on him in a moment as we take a look at a chance from the Garnet Chargers.
That just missed top shelf on Miller as it was deflected over the net.
Burchett onto his third collegiate program, began his career with Nebraska Omaha. Had a very solid debut during the 2021-22 campaign with the Riverhawks of UMass Lowell, 22 points in 35 games. Also led the team with 5 power play goals, so a scoring presence is Burchett. Right-handed shooting forward as Dave Smith changes out some of the groups that are playing as we move through this one, as Nikkinen is spilled down. Nikkinen, Ciccarello, and Booty, the line. Knocked off of the stick of Tyler Watkins, so RPI will get a free chance to regroup. Knocked in deep by Ciccarello. Nikkinen will go in on the forecheck, but it's stolen free. Near side for Young. He'll flip it over the hand of Ardenaz and in deep as Union was in the midst of a change. McNeil's clear-in was knocked down. Knocked down to his backside there was Finn Brown. Sent all the way down looking for an oncoming player. Nobody home, only Dylan Davies, so that will be icing against Union. The faceoff will come back in front of the net of Joe Sheriff with a minute 25 to go here in the second. We're at the dressing while we have a moment as Union College announced the change to the name the Garnet Chargers back on August 3rd. The college said it sought a nickname and accompanying mascot that would better exemplify the school's history and resonate with current and former, or future students, I should say. That coming from Mark Singolays in the Times-Union back when the announcement was made. So if you're hearing a name that may not ring a bell, that is the case, as Union will be the Garnet Chargers moving forward. Change of the logo, if you haven't seen it, there's a lightning bolt going through the very familiar looking view that's currently adorning the jerseys of the Garnet Chargers. So changes abound here as these two teams battle in game one, exhibition game one of the season. Ferguson through center. MacArthur will catch and look for a pass in front. Did not connect, it got blocked free. Knocked off the near side glass by Matta. Evans had to come back to try to find it. Meanwhile, the other way comes Jack Brackett, spinning away from pressure. Brackett has it stolen by Jeanette. Jacob Jeanette will hit the brakes. He used the one defender he had available to him, that is Ferguson. 10 seconds remaining here in the middle period as Robertson makes a couple of moves to get free. Right over the Engineers logo. He'll send it deep with 3 and 2 seconds to go. The horn will sound, triple zeros on the board here at the Houston Fieldhouse. The Engineers led by 1 goal after 1 period. They lead by 1 goal after 2 periods as a game-tying power play goal was scored just after the 6-minute mark from Brandon Muir. But Alti Nikkinen scored on a bouncing puck. Ended up being credited to him at the 10:30 mark to give RPI their lead back. And Dan Fridgen, your impressions on the middle period here in Troy?
Well, good period by both teams. Union striking on the power play, and RPI 0 for 2, I believe. And both of their goals have come 5 off 5.
Well, 20 more minutes of regulation time separate us from the end of this one, but we have our second intermission first, so we'll get to that right now. Again, the score after 2 periods of play, it's Engineers 2 and Garnet Chargers 1. Stay with us. We're back in just a bit. You're watching Engineers Hockey on RPI TV.
Fans at this time, please come back into the boards to compete in the Rockets Club Jump a Puck competition. The person whose puck lands closest to center ice wins. Please join me in the countdown. And in 3, 2, 1, check your box. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fans, in your puck was puck number 62. You are today's winner. Riding to the club, proud to support RPI Athletics. that cruiser all-inclusive vacation of a lifetime, Yankee Trails is the Cavalry's premier travel agency and motor coach tour provider. Specializing in group travel, Yankee Trails is also available for all your group transportation needs. For more information, call 518-286-2400 or visit online at yankeetrails.com. And fans, don't forget, RPI Women's Hockey hosts Syracuse University next Friday, October 13th, for reunion and homecoming weekend. Come out to the use of Fieldhouse and support your RPI Women's Hockey team when the puck drops at 6 p.m.
Periods down and 1 to go from the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of RPI. We're back on RPI TV. We're through 40 minutes of play between the Engineers and the Union College Garnet Chargers. It is 2-1 in favor of the home team. They scored the game's opening goal, a 2-on-1 goal from Finn Brown. And after Brandon Bjor scored the game-tying goal on the power play at the 6:07 mark of the second period, it was Alti Nikkanen just over 3 minutes later, scoring on a bouncing, rolling, rumbling puck from Jake Gagnon and Nick Strom. That gave the Engineers the 2-1 lead. Alongside Dan Fridge and Dan Ball with you here on there was the first one of the game on RPI TV. Made it through 40 minutes of play. I knew it was happening at some point. Joe Shera will return to the crease for the Garnet Chargers. Jack Watson in the cage now for the Engineers as we begin period number 3. It's been very exciting on both sides as you can tell that the teams, as the game has gone on, getting more comfortable with just the kind of speed you see in these games.
No question, and now we've got Jack Watson in the pipes for RPI. Looks like he's got some real nice pads and gloves that are brand new this year. Nice and white. You'll see puck marks all over those in the days to come.
Yeah, this is the cleanest they will be for Jack Watson, the junior out of Toronto, Ontario, last year's starter for the majority of the season. 30 games on his ledger last season, as Strom will send it across the blue line but out into the neutral zone in the process. Taken away by Ciccarello only for the moment, however, as Ville Imanen was there. Watson last season, a record of 13-15-1, a .308 goals against average, .895 save percentage, as well as 1 shutout as he steers that one aside. Watkins taken down by Strom, no call. The breakout successful for RPI in a hurry as Evans sneaks his way through, centering a pass in front. That one got blocked. He had Nikkanen there for the moment. Evans got upended back behind the net, but he'll go back on the back check as the pass goes through the legs of Watkins, but he deflected it. A very athletic play on the way through as that pass had a lot of steam on it. Meanwhile, here comes Payan, who's been all over the puck so far in his collegiate debut. Knocked into the near corner as Jack Brackett will wheel and try to center a pass in front of the goal, but it got blocked away. Davies will take the hit and try to move the puck along, but it's taken away. Richter leaves and a shot, they score! An absolute rocket of a shot from Ethan Benz from the top of the circles. And just under a minute and a half into the third period, we're tied again, this time at 2-2.
That was a laser of a shot, and by Ethan Benz, and Jack Watson was still looking over his shoulder trying to figure out where the heck did that go in. He absolutely ripped that. There you go. Kids watching today, hey, it doesn't matter. You get that puck off as quickly as possible with a quick release.
Ethan Benz the goal. No goals in 18 games last year. He did have 3 assists. So Thomas Richter and Colby MacArthur, the assists. Richter, an interesting case. He has 12 total games in his career. He played just 1 game last year, played against UNH at the end of December in a non-conference game. Did score a goal, his first and only so far collegiate goal against Cornell back during his freshman year 2 years ago. So he gets the primary, the assists, the secondary to Colby MacArthur, who had 2 assists in 11 games last year. We are tied once again as the puck will wobble its way back to the neutral zone where Jacob Jeanette will grab hold. Scooped up by Nathan Sullivan at the center line. He'll send it in deep. Sherab reverses for Joey Potter. Sent through center, deflected the rest of the way in as Nick Strom will give chase. Sullivan A-frames. McNeil tried to find it, but he could not. Sent from the top of the circles. That shot blocked down as Nathan Kelly gave it a go. Finn Brown was able to block it. Strom for Sullivan, but it's stolen. Now here comes Pilasov the other way. Knocked to the line. Brown tried to clear, unsuccessful, so Nick Ardenaz will head back behind Watson's cage. Getting a better look at it, he's got the checkerboard design on the leg pads.
Yeah, I was going to say with the NIL now, he'd have no problem getting a sponsorship from Purina. That's what I first thought. That's what came to my mind when I saw those checkers.
Here is Ciccarello shooting deflected up and over the net. I believe Trevor Kidd comes to mind when you think the checkered pads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working on limited knowledge from that era. But meanwhile, Smolinski will step in and hit the brakes. Smolinski turns and shoots through a screen. Blockered away by Sherab. Nikkanen centers a pass. Nobody home, and he was taken down after he made it. Meanwhile, Smolinski, a big hit right on the offensive blue line, allowing the Engineers to steal and Dylan Davies to force it in deep.
I was going to say this game hadn't been real physical so far to this point, and it'll be interesting to see how the conditioning is for these teams.
Brackett will get things moving. Near side Evans leaving for Payant, and a rolling puck is gobbled up by Sherab, and right on the heels of what Dan Fridgen was saying, some pleasantries being exchanged. Some line changes being made, a net minding change being made as well, but first a look at what will be the last save for Joe Sherab today.
As we welcome Axel Reed to the Union College crease.
Reed, a first-year player out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, played North American Hockey League with the Springfield Junior Blues a season ago. Knocked up the near side boards, backhanded by Surdy to keep the line. Surdy keeps it for a second time, but his clear-in attempt got blocked. Knocked down at center. Reed last year in 39 total games. A record of 14, 22 and 1, 282 goals against average, 911 save percentage. As the play is whistled down and offside right at the line as Payant was gaining speed through the neutral zone, but a whistle and a stoppage. Just under 5 minutes gone by in the third in a game that is now tied at 2.
Well, it's 2-2 on the clock at 15:15 of the third.
I'm not sure if you can use the term alliteration for numbers, but if you can, it certainly fits, and that's the case. Penalty coming up. It's going to be against the Garnet Chargers off the draw. Knocked in deep and picked up by Josh Phillips, so we'll get a whistle and a stoppage, 2 minutes for a cross-check at the 4:54 mark. We'll see RPI go back to the power play for the third time here this afternoon. And it'll be Liam Robertson who will sit for 2.
Just notice the shots on goal, 48 for RPI, 17 for Union. Doesn't make sense that we're locked in a 2-2 tie.
I will say, I think those numbers might be left over from the last weekend's game. Only reason I say that is because the first power play had those same numbers attached to it.
Okay.
I was wondering the same thing. It happened in the first period. I was like, that doesn't seem to make sense. Meanwhile, Smolinski shoots, blocked, knocked on goal by Brown. It went wide, and then it escapes Smolinski back out to the neutral zone. We're working on our hand scoring techniques here in the booth today, as we're without the live stats that we normally have, which you can find on RPIathletics.com, which was just re-released in a partnership with Sidearm Sports recently. Looks very sleek if you haven't seen it yet. You can also get tickets and more information and good old things like that. You can also keep track of the RPI women's hockey team, which is out on the road taking on Bemidji State this weekend. They finished in an overtime tie yesterday in a game that was settled in a shootout in which the Engineers won. Evans steps right in and shoots. Blocker save made by Reed. Kept in at the line by Ardenaz. He's got it once more at the center of the point. One-timer coming, a pass in front of the goal rather, as Brichette got the shot away. Got deflected on its way through, and the Garnet Chargers will clear.
Well, that was a golden opportunity there for Tyler Hudson, who was right on the doorstep. Couldn't get his stick on it and went off his skate. Net was wide open for him.
Forced in deep. Speaking of, there is Hodson now in that far corner, was looking to send back to the point, but he split the uprights with the two defenders as Surdy had stepped in and Ardenaz was closer to the center of the point.
Yeah, Ardenaz was overheading towards the boards thinking he was going to move it to the strong side, and he threw it back to where Ardenaz was coming from.
Evans for Surdy as the power play will come to an end. Evans trying to open up a bit more room for himself. He's protecting the puck on the backhand. Hodson spins away from pressure, backhands a pass in front, takes a deflection and goes back to the point. Laurie Surdy will A-frame and protect this puck as he carries it right back to the far point. Backhanded in deep, and that's where Evans allows it to keep moving for Hodson, but a collision in that far corner. Now 3-on-2 they will scrap as Sullivan and Evans go against Messina and Robertson and Hart. Player taken down, no hands in the air as RPI will maintain possession. Spinning away is Hodson at the end of a long shift, tries to get through a couple of defenders. Had that one knocked away. The puck kept in, however, as RPI will begin a line change and Union will do the same. Round of applause from the crowd here at the Houston Fieldhouse, watching the physicality as the icing is waved off. Speed shown there from the first-year Pilasov. Young at the center line will keep it moving for Jeanette. Knocked low by Brandon Buer. Pass took a deflection in front of the goal, but it was handled in front by Ciccarello. Now another chance to the backhand, and that one missed the near post just wide. Pulled free by Nikkanen and cleared to the line, but kept in at the line by Bure. Good keep by the forward, who was back helping on defense, as a big hit laid by Jeanette. Meanwhile, the puck is sent only as far as Regula.
That was a great opportunity by Jacob Jeanette. He had the net wide open. He took the backhand and missed it.
The other way comes Union. That one's handled. Might have clanked off the side of the goal as well. Sent back to the point for Phillips. Shoots around a screen, missed high and wide. Didn't look like Watson had the best look at that, but it missed the net either way. Heading back to play that one is Kelly, feeling the pressure of Brackett. Meanwhile, it's Payant, who will knife his way back behind the net. Brown shoots. Going for a deflection there was Brackett on his way cruising through the crease. Brown protecting against Phillips, but it got knocked free, and Union completed their breakout, and they're completing a line change with just over 10.5 to go here in the third. Smolinski finds Brad McNeil, who takes the hit from DJ Hart. Hart, the first-year player out of Stamford, Connecticut, standing 6'3", 210 pounds. He's been elevating the physical play here in the third period. Sent in front, looking for a deflection. Watson kicked it free. Shot from Hart got blocked on its way through. Went up and off the end glass, allowing Dovar Tindling to escape. Tindling makes a move inside and out, but has it knocked free. Pulled away from Richter there as he was trying to gain some speed. Burchett all the way through the neutral zone. Tindling at the center line will whip it in deep and go for a change. Villegas keeps it moving. Nick Strom sends off the far side boards. Evans in a race for the puck with Young. He's able to beat out what could have been an icing if it kept moving. Again, the teams will regroup in the neutral zone. This time it's caught on the backhand by Ciccarello. Ciccarello opening up, now looking for a lane to the net. Nothing available. Hodson was spilled down as he was trying to figure out if he could shoot or how to pass. Neither ended up happening. 3-on-3 through the neutral zone, and a hit laid there. The puck was spilled free. Nice play with the skate there by Joey Potter to keep that puck from going all the way in deep. Brendan Booty at the center line will flip it in on the netminder Reed and go in on the forecheck, dragging a couple of Garnet Chargers with him. Knocked out to center, and now a race for the puck as Corpy was battling with Agnew. It's loose, but a chance for a shot from Emanen, and Booty was back checking and was able to disrupt that one.
Yeah, good play by Booty. Tie up the stick of Emanen.
Wheeling is the freshman Payant. He'll send a pass in front. Knew he had Nathan Sullivan somewhere in at least that area code. Pass did not connect, but they'll give it another go. Deflected the rest of the way in by Sullivan at the end of the shift. He'll go for a change. Forechecking, disrupted, shooting there as Brackett deflected on its way through. Might have caught Reed on its way by as well. RPI grabs possession on the forecheck, backhanded through the middle by Brackett. That one got blocked. Near side, MacArthur taken away by Brown. Spinning away from the oncoming MacArthur, he was taken down. A couple of the officials in the stands wanted a call on that one. Nothing will go. Both sides battling for possession. It's turned over, centering pass, nobody home except for Davies, who will shoot. In and out of the glove of Reed as Dylan Davies took the shot from the top of the circles. Hit laid there by Davies again as Union was trying to complete their breakout. On second attempt they will. End of a long shift. It is MacArthur who will send it in deep. Davies on the feed from Smolinski. Out at center, McNeil will pop it by the defender Phillipson in deep. Backhanded up in the air over everybody except for Ardenaz on the far point, who will now activate. Sent to the line for Brachette. He had a rolling puck jump over his stick and back over the blue line, so RPI will regroup. McNeil in for Hodson, who tries to make a move around a defender. He is forced back behind the net. Strom keeps it moving quickly for Ardenaz, stepping in and shooting up and above the net. Took a deflection off a read on its way by. RPI maintains possession. Ardenaz, backdoor feed, was looking for his partner Strom, who had activated on a smart play, but he couldn't corral the pass. Union will get things moving in their own end, get it as far as the neutral zone as both teams in the midst of a change. Never a bad thing, Dan Frigen, to see your defenders jumping up and getting in on the offense, as some talented guys on the blue line here for the Engineers.
Well, they're real tough to pick up on the defensive coverage because you've got to find the puck, find your man, and sometimes you find the puck and your man's gone, and as in that case, it was real close.
Billy Eamon in through the neutral zone, knocked away by Matta. Go force it in deep for Kadzi, who was waiting there. He's taken down. A penalty upcoming. It's going to be against the Engineers as Young has it near corner. Reed to the bench. Extra attacker on it is MacArthur, and a whistle as RPI gained possession. A stoppage and a power play upcoming with 5:23 to go here in period number 3. The Garnet Chargers tied the game. They have a chance on the man advantage. When we return, you're watching Engineers Hockey here on RPI TV.
Learn how you can help RPI Hockey directly at giving.rpi.edu/letsgored.
We are boundary-pushing change agents. We do what it takes to make things happen together. It's our collaborative spirit that sparks creativity and pushes us to think beyond ourselves. We're scrappy and unabashedly enthusiastic about our passions and projects. We are hardwired for the havoc of change. We know it isn't easy, that theories can fail and world-changing can feel futile. But that's the calm before the brilliant storm. The breath you take before you break through. Small change comes from asking why. Changing the world comes from asking, why not? That's the question we ask everyone, from freshmen to faculty. It's the question that fuels us to find the next new. The question we ask you, why not change the world?
Back on RPI TV, power play underway for the Garnet Chargers, looking to take their first lead of the afternoon. Kept in at the line by Potter. Villegas sends back for Joey Potter. Near side Villegas, a saucer pass all the way across. Watkins sends low. Backhanded in front of the goal as Buer, the player who scored on the power play earlier on in this one, tried to get it going. The Engineers are able to force a clear. Sent high off the glass and all the way down. Union 1 for 1 on their man advantage so far today. John Evans in the box for the second time today. He was whistled for a hold in the second period. He was called for boarding at the 14:37 mark of this here third period, a game that is tied at 2. The teams have alternated goals in this one. Finn Brown opened the scoring. Brandon Buer scored on the power play to tie it. Alti Nikkanen made it 2-1 RPI. And then the lone goal here in this third period coming from Ethan Benz, an absolute snipe at the top of the circles, as some appreciative stick taps from the Engineers as their penalty killers were able to kill a bit of time keeping the puck in the corner. Sent to the line but kept in by Potter. Pass goes across the zone from Villegas to Watkins, but didn't connect. Watkins again. A lot of steam on that pass as Villegas will wheel. Those two had the assists on the power play goal earlier on in this one. Meanwhile, it is the first-year Jeanette. Potter was able to keep the zone, but on second attempt, it's Payant who clears the rest of the way down with 10 seconds to go on the penalty kill.
Yeah, looks like the power play unit for Union ran out of gas. Good killing by RPI.
Colby MacArthur with steam gets things moving, but that pass attempt got blocked. Knocked down by Brown. Lead pass, Brendan Booty through the defense. Here's Booty and a save, but he draws a penalty on his way through, and a penalty shot upcoming. Brendan Booty was able to get the shot away after he split the two defenders. Reed made the first stop, but we'll see a penalty shot here in the third.
I'm just trying to see where this slash was, but I was kind of surprised that they called a penalty shot, but at any rate.
I would tend to agree, just given that Booty did get the shot off, but
maybe it went wide, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that might have been because of the slash.
Well, either way, we'll see Brendan Booty with the game tied at 2. Weaves his way in, and a kick save made by Reed. The first year in his career debut at the NCAA level makes a stop on the penalty shot.
Well, he just held his ground. You know, when you're a shooter, you got to give the goaltender something to bite on, and whether it's dropping your shoulder, opening up the blade of the stick, just give him something to get him to commit first, and then you follow suit by what he does. And there was nothing there. Booty just went in and shot.
After the face-off win, Brachette tried to make a move around the oncoming MacArthur, was unsuccessful. Union last year was 996 and 996 at the face-off dot. They were exactly 50-50 when it came to face-off wins and losses. Amazing, with almost 2,000 shots at it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's 50%. You like to be about 60% on the draws.
RPI last year at a 47.1%, and you're seeing in the early line charts a couple of changes. Mazzotti down the middle, he kind of moved there partway through the season, but Dovar Tindling taking some face-offs, and so that part of the game still up in the air for Dave Smith and company. Smith, head coach in year number 7, season number 6 when you factor in COVID. All-time record of 65, 108, and 13. Payant tried to force a pass middle. That one got blocked. Pilasov wanted to make sure there wasn't a delayed offsides call that was coming, so he slowed things down. Picked up by the aforementioned Pilasov, and a shot gets blocked by Smolinski. Centering pass in front, turned aside by Watson. Couple of chances like that for this Garnet Chargers team at certain points today, going from low of the goal and getting quick passes in front as Payant took on a couple of Union defenders. Got the puck low as the breakout and clear out from Ville Immonen. Knocked through the legs of Payant, and just a step or two behind it there was Evans. This one will wobble its way down and be icing as Surdy beat out the oncoming Tyler Watkins in the race, and a face-off coming in front of Axel Reed's cage with 1:17 to go here in the third.
There's another look at the penalty shot by Brendan Booty. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back. But a good save nonetheless by goaltender Axel Reed.
Possession to the Garnet Chargers, and breakout successful soon after as Jeanette will knife his way through the neutral zone. Absorb a hit and go in for one of his own. Sent to the line and off the skates of Nick Young, who was backtracking. As we've reached the final minute of regulation in a game that is tied at 2. Ciccarello will send it through the neutral zone. This one will go in on Reed, who will activate up to the hash marks and make a play. Sent in on Watson, who steers it calmly to the corner. Agnew tries to keep things moving. Battle on the far side boards, pulled free by Jeanette. Centering pass in front, backhanded save made by Watson. Another stop made, as this time around it was Cole Kodzi with the opportunity.
That was a close one. Watson doing a good job holding his ground.
Kodzi's pass gets picked off by Tinling. Top of the circles, he'll shoot. That one gets deflected into the corner with 2 seconds and 1. And we have reached the end of regulation here at the Houston Fieldhouse. The door's opening, but the shovel's coming out, so we will likely see overtime here in this one, as RPI and Union skating to a 2-2 draw after 60 minutes of play. What have you noticed from this one so far?
You know, there's 2 players so far for RPI that kind of caught my eye. Is Tyler Hodson. He's had a very strong game, and Jeremy Payen that played for RPI.
And definitely a positive thing for when you think about the present, but also the future. Those 2 guys playing in their first college game as freshmen in this RPI program. So when you think about excitement and building success and all those other things, getting the young guys in on the scoring and having them be exciting this early is a huge thing for this group.
Yeah, no question. I think that the staff's done a real good job, and it's been a pretty tightly contested game here, and we'll see what happens here. What kind of conditioning they have here in the first game for this overtime, which I'm sure will be 3-on-3, and then I'm sure we'll go to a shootout.
Wouldn't that certainly be an interesting way to conclude, as something about overtime ties and opening weekends. We saw the women's program a couple weekends ago skate to a couple of overtime ties against RIT to begin their season, and the men's group begins their exhibition slate the same way. RPI will open up their regular season next weekend. They'll begin on a 5-game road trip. 2 games in Maine, and then a pair of games, one against Boston College, one against Providence College, so 4 Hockey East opponents in a row. Then the regular season ECAC hockey style will begin with a pair of games against this same Union team. They'll play on the road on November 3rd at 7 o'clock, and then open up the home slate for the blackout game on November 4th, 7 o'clock face-off right here at the Houston Fieldhouse on that one. So beginning with 5 in a row on the road and 7 of the first 8 is this RPI team before they come back home for a 4-game homestand, 2 against Northeastern, and then a duet of ECAC games going to be at in Princeton.
Well, we'll see who makes the first mistake here, because I guarantee you neither teams have not practiced this a lot.
No better time than the present, as they say, as Messina gets it moving. The other way come the Garnet Chargers, led by Emanin. Here's Messina sent on goal. Watson handles it and picks up the rebound with his glove. Off of the end boards, it took a bounce off the dasher up and into the air, and Watson says, why not? I'll make 1 save, then make 2, and get a whistle 16 seconds in.
Well, we got a change by RPI for the first 3. Union elects to keep the same 3 out there.
Emanin, MacArthur, and Messina. For the Garnet Chargers, it's Tinling, Hodson, and Smolinski. 2 newcomers and the sophomore Smolinski for the Engineers. Pass deflected on its way through as Tinling battling with Emanin trying to get some space. Taken away. Tinling, a dog on a bone, or a dog with a bone on that forecheck, I should say. Knocked away by Hodson. Hodson centers a pass, was looking for Smolinski, deflected. Now a race 2-on-1 for possession of the puck. It's snapped up by Smolinski. RPI in the midst of a change. Hodson remains. Ryan Brichette onto the ice on his opposite as Union completes changes of their own. Hodson, a space pass, will take Brichette back into the neutral zone. Brichette, a quick move to the middle and then back. Ryan Brichette, top of the circles, he'll shoot. That one got blocked. MacArthur will slow things down, gain the center line, hit the brakes at the blue line. Centering pass in front. He was looking for Joey Potter, who had snuck behind Hodson on his way through, but Watson's able to handle it before Potter got a whack at it at a puck that was in midair.
Yeah, I think that was Hodson that deflected that puck to his goaltender, trying to break that play up and divert the pass.
For what it's worth, Union last year 0-1-1 in the extra frame. RPI 3-2-1 in overtime last season. Potter top of the circles. Shot from the far side from Carter Corpy was deflected up and out of place, so they'll do it again in the defensive end as it went off of an RPI defender's stick. It was McNeil and Finn Brown. Now it will be Payant and Brown with Laurie Surtee. Carter Corpy, Ethan Benz, and the defender, that is Potter, out there for the Garnet Chargers as Surtee gets things moving. Here is Brown with speed. A player in front, it's Payant, but the pass too far in front of him. Jeremy Payant did have a step on the defenders if that pass was there. Sent back to the line for Laurie Surtee. Surtee guarded man-on-man by his fellow defender, Joey Potter. Payant shoots through a screen. He was able to get Finn Brown there in front of him, but the save was made through the screen by Reed, and now RPI will go for a change. Quick pass finds Jack Brackett. Brackett shoots, blocked by Corpy, sent in front, sticked away by Reed. Brendan Booty's able to hold the line, but Potter on second attempt is able to clear. Here comes Corpy shooting, missed the net. Had a bit of steam on that one as he was going low on Jack Watson, but the puck will spring its way back into the neutral zone halfway through overtime.
Surtee's been out there a while. Oh, he just got off.
You only have so many trips up and down the ice before you just start to run out of steam, so a well-timed line change there as Brackett pressuring Villegas. Pace slows down a bit as both sides trying to find the lane to the net. That pass does not connect as Messina was trying to find Villegas right in front of his own bench. That will be icing, so RPI will get a free line change as another look at the chance coming in from Corpy.
Yeah, they tried to do the stretch pass. Actually, they had a Union player wide open on a play before that in behind the RPI defense, but just couldn't find him and didn't attempt to make that pass.
Tinling, Brachette, and Smolinski the line change for the Engineers after the icing was whistled against Union. Sent to Smolinski, who was trying to move it quickly for Brachette. Buer will drop it back for Messina. Wouldn't mind to see Smolinski shoot that as he went for the pass instead for Brian Brachette, who was emerging on that back door. Meanwhile, here comes Villegas, centers a pass in front, whipped on goal and a save made. That save was made on Buer as it's knocked back to the neutral zone. Pass from Tinling got blocked by Buer at the end of his shift, but that allows Tinling to step it in 3-on-2, tried to make a quick move. Smolinski, far side, tried to backhand a pass in front and now speed the other way with the Garnet Chargers. Brought in by Kelly, around the tired Brachette, and a save made by Watson. Big stop on the partial break as the Engineers at the end of a shift and Kelly the chance to win it.
Well, Nathan Kelly there showing his speed for a defender. He's got pretty good wheels.
Moving through is Watkins. He shoots, saved by Watson, and he's got the rebound with a couple of pokes at it right as the whistle blew. Union with a couple of chances in the final minute of overtime to win it, but Jack Watson stands tall.
Good save by Jack Watson there. As Tyler Watkins takes that puck right to the net, looking for 5-hole on him.
47 seconds exactly as Eamon leads in against McNeil. It's won by the freshman Brad McNeil. McNeil out of Royal Oak, Michigan in the Maryland Black Bears program in the Null. North American Hockey League. Very good league. Meanwhile, Ardenage tried to make a quick move to open up some space. Speaking of space, it's Hodson. He's in alone for the game. He rang it off the post. Tyler Hodson, a chance to win, and he'll have another chance here at the top of the circles. Knocks it around a defender. Hodson again to the backhand. He was defended well by Potter. 10 seconds to go. That pass gets deflected. Now a race for the puck. Potter and Ardenaz with the trailer coming. Potter shoots. Save made by Watson. Rebound scooped up by McNeil. But the horn will sound. An exciting conclusion to the overtime period for both sides. Sometimes you need a little help from your friends. That's what Axel Reed got right at the end of overtime. And the extra period finishes the same way we ended regulation at 2-2.
Well, like you say, a good opportunity. Here's another look at it. He went in. He had the goaltender Axel Reed down and out. Nothing but net up above him and wasn't able to get it into the net. That's not even a shot on goal.
Well, Dan Frigen, I think we're going to see exactly what you mentioned. Looks like we're going to see a shootout as the puck now sits right at the center dot here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Why not practice every skill when you get the chance?
Yeah. A little bit of everything in today's first game.
Well, just to reset the scoring for you while we have a moment, as it's been a little while since we've seen a goal. Finn Brown scored the opening goal at the 16:29 mark of the first. Jeremy Payant, Nathan Sullivan, the assists on the 2-on-1 backhand goal from Brown. Brandon Buer scored on the power play at the 6:07 mark of the second period to tie the game at 1. It was Altti Nikkanen just over 3 minutes later, scoring on a rolling puck right in front of the goal from Jake Gagnon and Nick Strom. That made it 2-1, but Union tied the score in the third period just a minute 21 seconds in. Ethan Benz from Thomas Richter and Colby MacArthur. That's where we stood through the third period. That's where we stand through overtime. And now we'll get a look at the shootout. Engineers had one shootout victory last season. They ended up beating Alaska Fairbanks in the shootout 1-0. Kyle Hallbauer, to my knowledge, scored the shootout winner in that one.
Interesting. Dave Smith going with Hodson for the first one. So let's see if he can avoid the post and put it in the net.
Hodson will swing left in his shootout attempt. Now cut back middle. Hodson backhand forehand, and he scores! Oh boy, what a beauty from Tyler Hodson, and the Engineers on the board in the shootout.
Well, he didn't miss on that one, that's for sure. That's a tough one for Reed to stop. He had him going every which way and really opened up the wickets on that one.
Engineers strike first. The counter is Thomas Richter. Cuts left to the backhand forehand, and he missed the net wide. Watson stayed with him as Richter went the same direction as Hodson, but couldn't connect. And now RPI will have a chance after taking the opening round 1-0. Another newcomer will get a go. This time it's Dovar Tinling. Weaves his way right, now back in front of the goal, and he scores! A little heavy metal on its way through, but Dovar Tinling scores in the shootout. It's 2-0 RPI.
Oh, he just went top shelf on him there with a bullet of a shot. And right now, Ethan Benz has to score to keep Union in this.
Benz to the backhand, and a save by Watson. Nobody celebrating quite yet.
That's it. That's it. 3 shots. I think they were looking for 5. You don't need 5. You just need 3.
Well, that'll do it. The sign coming from the officials, making it official. The Engineers winning a shootout in their season opening exhibition game against the Union College Garnet Chargers.
Of course, it'll go in the books as a tie, but hey, Got a little bit of moral victory there with the shootout. Always good to see. And it's obvious RPI's got some gunslingers.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch the development of guys like Payant and Hodson, as well as the addition of Dovar Tinling. All three key factors in a shootout victory for RPI. They win their exhibition match, the unofficial victory to Jack Watson in the cage, and first-year netminder Axel Reed will take the loss in the shootout as RPI wins 2-0 in the shootout period. They win the game by a final of 3-2. In that regard, it would go down as a tie if it counted. None of it does. We will be back here on RPI TV tomorrow afternoon as RPI will continue their exhibition weekend, welcoming in Guelph, the University of Guelph. The Griffins will be in town tomorrow afternoon. It is a 3 o'clock face-off here at the Houston Fieldhouse, so go to rpiathletics.com for tickets and more info. But if you can't join us, make sure you stay subscribed and hit subscribe if you haven't on the RPI TV YouTube page. You'll get the live stream of the broadcast tomorrow at 3 p.m. Dan Bridgen, before we say adieu here on this Saturday afternoon, your final impressions for game number 1 for RPI here at home.
Well, I think RPI played real well. Both goaltenders played real well. I mean, Watson came in, and actually I think it was pretty fortunate to have, I think he let in 1 goal, top shelf, and but played solid, and fortunate he's in, because I'm thinking he's one of the better shootout goaltenders that I've seen. So real good hockey game. Neither team ran out of gas in my eyes, so certainly well conditioned, and had a good, both teams put in a good summer. But looking forward to tomorrow's game with the University of Guelph and an older squad coming in, to say the least.
Interesting one coming up tomorrow afternoon. We will see you then. In the meantime, for everybody working hard behind the scenes, and for my broadcast partner, Dan Bridgen, Dan Ball saying thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your Saturday evening. You've been watching Engineers Hockey here on RPI TV.